What's up, y'all? Mark Nathaniel Skelton here. We all know that knowledge is power, so let's learn a little bit more about the central nervous system. Basically controls every aspect of what you do. You're moving, you're talking, your entire being. The medical news today says that it's called central because it combines information from the entire body and coordinates activity across the whole organism. So you can see here the three main points that we'll be discussing today briefly is the central nervous system, which consists of the brain, and we'll talk about the spinal cord as well. So the overview of the central nervous system is that it comprises, as I said, of the brain and the spinal cord. It is the biological core of the human experience. In other words, we're talking about the physiological components of us, the genetics, the DNA, all that good stuff. And then we can refer to it through its structure and function. In other words, the shape of the central nervous system as well as the function. In other words, what it does. All right. So beginning, let's start at the top and work our way down. We'll talk about the brain. When we're talking about the brain, we're talking about the cortical regions. So this is the area that you typically see when you think of a brain, the outside, the frontal lobe, the temporal lobe, the parietal lobe, the occipital lobe. Each one of these has their own like area of command, super simplified, but like the frontal lobe is like the command center, occipital lobe is more like the vision center of the brain, and the temporal lobe is the auditory system and all that. Parietal is like sensory. So all that is on that level. Underneath the hood is the subcortical region, which is the hippocampus, the amygdala, the thalamus, the basal ganglia. This deals with emotions and how senses and information is relayed and memory and all that good stuff. And a little bit lower, you have the midbrain, the pons, and the medulla. This is more of a very, very basic functions of like breathing and the like. The brainstem is what connects us to the second part of the central nervous system, which is the spinal cord. Now, the spinal cord is segmented cord linked to every organ and muscle in the body. So you can look at it kind of like an electric socket, and there's different appliances connected to that. And this is that meridian area in the body. There's four major divisions: the cervical, thoracic, lumbar, and the sacral area. And basically, it goes from the neck to the sacrum, which is the bottom of the spine, between the two hip bones of the pelvis. And the fibers are a two-way system. These are kind of like the wires, you could say, of the central nervous system, which carries information from the body to the brain and vice versa. Information that's carried from the body to the brain is afferent, and information that goes from the brain, more motor information to the muscles, is efferent with the E. And so just as a recap, you know that the central nervous system consists of the brain and the spinal cord. It's encased in bone. For the brain, it's the skull. It's the part of the central nervous system contained within the cranium. And for the spinal cord, it's the part of the central nervous system enclosed within the vertebral column. All right, got tongue twisted a little there, but it's all good. We got the references. All right, things are legit. And just remember, check me out at Skelton_neuro on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You can subscribe to the Skelton Report on YouTube and Apple Podcasts for similar information. Remember, the more you learn, the more you earn. Peace.